Touchdown. If you want to score a touchdown in fintech, hire Cane Bay Partners. Tom Brady. People say he's the greatest of all time. He is the total package. Your fintech products should try to model this. You should make sure that they're attractive and interesting, and that the consumers would want to sign up for them. And also make sure that you have all the right analytics behind them to make sure that it will be profitable. Let's skip that one. Ooh. Okay. Kick off. If you want to kick off your new product right, you need to have an excellent plan, and you need to have the right consultants like Cane Bay Partners to make sure that you will be successful. Game plan. If you want to have a good game plan, I'm going to keep saying the same thing, like you got to hire Cane Bay Partners. So that's good.
Out of time.
Yeah, this is a hard game. This is harder than I thought it was going to be. So the obvious one is capital and funds. So that's the proverbial gas in the tank, if you will. I have seen some organizations that had an excellent plan, excellent product, excellent team, but they simply did not have enough financial resources to execute. And maybe they had the money they thought they needed based on everything going very well. But as we know, things don't always go perfect. Things don't always go as you plan, especially in finance. You may have a product and you may have great analytics, and you may expect certain levels of default, and it may be based on a lot of really valid, even very conservative assumptions. But sometimes until you actually are implemented in live and have people utilizing your product and expecting to be repaying it, can you find out what really may happen? So that's one. Another thing that I've seen very frequently is challenges with scaling. So for example, let's say a financial firm launches a new product, and in the beginning, everything is working out fine, the defaults are in line, their acquisition costs are in line, but then when they want to grow the business, they start to experience different sort of stresses. For example, they may find that their acquisition costs may go up greater than what they had planned for when they are trying to acquire more consumers, because there's a lot of competition. Maybe with a small lead buy, you're able to buy the leads that you want to buy, but then if you need to get 10 times more leads, or 50 times more leads, or 100 times more leads, now you're in a different competitive environment. And so now you may find that you have to bid significantly higher than what you were originally expecting. Also, as you grow, sometimes you have trade-offs with the underwriting that you need to put into place in order to hit your customer acquisition. So in the prior example of having to spend more to buy leads to acquire customers, you may also find that you have to loosen your underwriting some as well, so that you can get more customers into your product. And if you're not predicting that well, then you might be hitting your growth volume, your growth targets, but you may be now out of bounds with the credit losses that you are planning for. So it's a very delicate balance, and I've seen both of those things happen with, unfortunately, too many financial firms. Fintech companies have many things they have to manage as well, which can be similar to a football game. You have offense, you have defense, for example. So if you're looking at this from a financial services company perspective, the offense side of things, if you will, is what I would say is growing and customer acquisition. That's really putting points on the board for a company. And so your marketing team is really the main drivers of the offense. But the analytics team also has a role to play. because if the analytics is too tight, then you cannot grow. So there are players on the offense that are somewhat defensive. So I would say that is like the offensive line. If the offensive line is not effective, then the quarterback is going to get sacked. They're going to fumble. There's going to be interceptions. You cannot win without that. So I think there are players on offense that are similar to the types of teams you would have in a fintech. Also on defense, you know, everybody likes to talk about the linebackers. They're the ones sacking the other quarterback. So really the defense for a fintech is the analytics and also the risk management programs. You have to prevent fraud, especially if you're dealing with online products. There's high prevalence of fraud. Plus, you have normal credit risk from people who are who they say they are and have an intention to pay. You know, there's risk associated with all types of people, and it could be dependent upon whether they have two incomes or one, how stable their job is, also what other credit obligations they have, how much income they have to pay all those various credit obligations. And those things may exist at one point, you know, when they're applying, but then it could change. It could change the next hour, it could change the next week, it could change the next month. So all those factors play into that. So there's an art and a science to figuring that out, and it's often a business decision, and it comes down to the economics of running the business. As far as Cane Bay Partners is concerned, we have a good team. We are able to recruit, and we've been in the game for a long time. So we have the key players that are needed to make sure that our clients have success, and they do. And so that's why people want to come and work for us, and that's why people that work here want to stay. They get to work with really cool clients. They get to do really cool and interesting work. And it's an environment where we have had success in the past, we're successful now, and we're confident we'll be successful in the future.